the car, we just got to get it to turn, and I think that's always something that, that I hear that, stock car drivers fight is getting the car to turn in the middle and where you need to compromise to make that happen. So, throughout the couple of hours of practice, we went through a lot of different stuff, that's for sure, a lot of different spring combinations, and I think by the end we got it to handle a little bit better mid off the corner, but it's just hot out there, and there's not a ton of grip in these cars, especially compared to what I'm used to. So we just have to, I think, find the best balance so that we have a consistent car in the race, and we can hold on and not be severely struggling at any point from the front or the rear. So it was good. We did a qualifying run, and it went all right. I thought a little bit tight, but. I think all in all, we learned some, and we made it a little bit better when we needed to by the end, so we're moving forward.
Go back to what happened a couple of weeks ago with the 89 car in New Hampshire. Is that over? Have you talked to Morgan, and what was it like to have your first run-in with another competitor in a stock car?
Well, it's not the first time there's been contact with me in a stock car. As I've been saying, it's not as easy in these cars to, stay completely out of trouble, since you can touch each other, you can move around, you do move around more. In an Indy car, you don't ever really want to touch each other, even when you're racing as hard as possible up front. So, it's harder just to stay out of trouble. But, I didn't talk to him. I heard he came down, and, I don't think he meant to. I think that the cars just slide around a lot, and especially when you're talking about a short oval where they're sliding up the track even more. I was sliding around in the race, so I'm not mad. It was just unfortunate that it happened, that's all.
The first three races you had nationwide, and as a matter of fact, ARCA, you had nice wide tracks, and 2 weeks ago you were at New Hampshire. So are you thinking comfort level here?
Well, I think that one of the things for me is that I maybe run the last part of the race like I need to run the beginning of the race, so it allows me some more time before the leaders catch me, put me a lap down when the track's a little bigger. So I think that's a good thing for me. I think there's more lines to run out there. There's less variance in lifting and braking if you even do it. So yeah, I'm a little bit more comfortable here, but it's still challenging. It really is. I think that, I don't always know the difference between setup issues. Is it a spring? Is it something with the cambers? Is it, the bar? Is it geometry? I don't have any idea. I have no idea. So I'm not very good at helping Tony Jr. go in a certain direction. All I can say is what the car is doing. So, I wish I could help out more with that, but that's just going to come with time, and, I'm starting to realize this is really challenging. It's really hard, and I need to not be so hard on myself, and I need to just stay upbeat and take every lap as an improvement from the one before, and that's it. Just keep marching forward, and I feel kind of bad that it's not more amazing out there, and I'm not higher up because it's more entertaining for the fans. It's a better story, but it's just very hard, and I think that speaks volumes about how good these drivers are in stock cars, and just how challenging it is.
Your IndyCar season hasn't gone to this point the way you would have hoped. It's easy to make the leap in logic that by coming over here you've detracted some from the IndyCar side. What's your response to that?
I've been working very hard in IndyCar. Harder than ever, and man, it's just getting so difficult over there. There are so many great drivers from top to bottom, and I almost compare it a little bit to NASCAR, where when you're running all right and you're near the front, but when you're not anywhere near it. So that's what I've struggled with, but that's all I can say is it's just really difficult, and I don't believe that that this program has anything to do with the disappointment that I've had on some occasions in IndyCar. I probably had my best race of my career in an IndyCar this year, actually at Texas. Getting getting into the lead after the last stop and finishing second and running up front all day long and not, catching a strategy or, a crash or anything and picking up spots. It was just really what it was. So, sometimes when I feel bad about how it's gone, I think about that. But yeah, I think it's just more difficult than ever.
Lewis asked you about comfort level here at this track. What about the fact that you've had seat time here, albeit in an Indy car? Does that help you? Is there anything that transfers to your experience in stock cars here?
I was just saying to my engineer that this track in an Indy car versus a stock car is completely different. They don't even look the same. I came and did a tire test here a couple of weeks ago, and in the Indy car, and I was describing how it looks from perspective in an Indy car around here, and how corners feel flat, and you're running down the inside, down the back, and it doesn't, in a stock car it feels like a big round arc on the way in and a big arc into three, and it's just in an Indy car you're running so low around the bottom of the track the whole time, and you're going so fast that I feel like the track feels flatter, and it doesn't even look the same. Honestly. Other than being familiar with getting in and out of the pits and a little bit about the track, I'm finding really hard to compare the two cars on a track.
You spoke a little bit about your Indy series and how that season's gone. I know there weren't a ton of expectations. You just kind of wanted to get out there and get laps here in this series. But how do you think things have progressed here, in the Nationwide series? And then a follow-up to that is just as far as respect on the racetrack, how would you rate the respect that you're getting from the other drivers?
Well, I think that as far as the season has gone, I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not lighting the world on fire by any means. It's that hard, I wish I was, and I think a couple of the things I've done this year have been okay. I was happy with, the first ARCA race, and I know the competition is not what it is in necessarily in Nationwide, but running well in that and figuring it out in the Daytona race. I just started to get the hang of it. Vegas I thought was pretty decent, being sort of up. I think hopefully it would have been like if I would have stayed in the race somewhere in the top 10, which would have been fantastic. But, also one of the things that I just thought of is that, everybody else is in there. I don't know, what race number are we on for Nationwide? Like, it's a whole IndyCar season. Everybody's been in the car every week, so just like an IndyCar, you kind of get into more and more of a rhythm, more comfortable, more, quicker up to speed, everything. And here I am, come back after a couple of weeks, or, it's big breaks, and so it's harder to be right up to speed with them when they're just in it every week. So, and the fact that I just have a lot to learn. I don't want to make excuses. It's hard. So I think it's been okay. I don't know what else to say. I'm learning, I'm learning, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm learning with people watching, which is hard, but it's just the way it is, and I'm lucky that people are watching. So, hopefully I have a good weekend and people will be watching. But, and then, what's the last part of the question? Oh, yeah. All the other drivers from moment one have been amazing. They've been very helpful, very generous with information. I couldn't ask for more. So I think that the other drivers seem very respectful, and I've had really no problems. I think just a couple of unfortunate things on track, but other than that, everybody's been really good. And I was even out there in practice today, and Carl went by me and he stuck his hand out the window. I don't know if he was trying to say, like, thanks for, follow me or whatever, but I was taking it for the best that it was. I was thinking he was saying follow me, and I couldn't for the life of me keep up. But, drivers are all very nice out there.